Hello, everybody. My name is Wayne Thomas. It's your boy. Yeah, I'm accepting a challenge from a dear, good friend of mine. More than a friend, he is like a brother from another mother because I love his family and his family loves me just as much. His name is David Roy, who did this Facebook challenge to do your story on a selfie, do a story, right? So here it is, a brief introduction of my life. Um, Pretty much like anybody else, started out a kid, having playing, having fun. Decided that I was gonna never stop playing. Um, and as I got older, I continued to play. Sometimes I got me in trouble. Most of the time, it made life really enjoyable for me. Speaking of playing, I ran into David Roy and a couple other good close friends of mine. Terry Scott, another dear brother who's no longer with us, named Ronald Hunt. Just a host of people I ran into that were instrumental to my music career when that was my career. Dave and um, I met Dave before playing in this group together. Just some friends of mine got together and threw a show together one day and said, "We got a guitar player." And David came in there and I looked at David and I says, "Yeah, okay, right." And he plugged up and started playing some rock and roll stuff, right? Inagata Devita, right? And anybody who's old knows that song. And me and Dave just clicked from that point on. Later on, a band that I had started needed a guitar player, and David's group actually had went on the road. Excuse me. Whew. Well, excuse me. Actually, his group went on the road. When they came back, he was looking for something to do, and we talked to him. And David, and David came in and joined the group, right? And not only did he bring his musical expertise, he brought a wall of equipment with him. Had these old custom plush custom amps. He brought a wall of sound with him, and the group just grew immensely. The group did pretty good. We had a keyboard player, but was looking around for another keyboard player. And in high school again, I ran into another brother, Terry Scott. Now, if you know him or heard him play, he's always been a delight to the ears, right? Always been a delight to the ears. And in high school, I talked to him a couple of times. We never got together and played together, but hung out a lot. But he lived right across the street from where I worked with this group, 2000 AD. And work isn't the right word for that. It was a pleasure. It was a joy to work with all those guys, man. And Trey was across the street from us, listening to us rehearsal. And one day we went across there and talked to his moms. Right back in the day, you had to do it right. Talk to his moms and say, "Hey, can Terry come out and play?" Right, right. And Terry played and didn't have the best equipment at the time, but the group was gigging. We was gigging hard, man. And soon after that, we bought him a keyboard. Then he got me a better bass amp and a better PA, and our group really started doing real good. Started doing really good up down the East Coast. Uh, Thanks to some friends of ours, Sound Extended. They aren't together anymore. They were like our sister group, and man, we had a lot of fun with those guys too. Um, Continuing on with my life, the group that I played with, David and Terry, we went on tour, Canada, um, some places upstate New York, London, Germany. Nice tour, nice time, great time. I did a great time with those guys. All of it wasn't good. Some of it was kind of rough on us, but we made it through. We made it through. Um, that group broke up, unfortunately. It still lives in our heart. When we do get together, you feel that force. Believe me, when we get together, we play for family and friends, and you listen. You're gonna say, "Man, those guys kick, right?" And yeah, we do. And I'm not a competitive guy. I'm not. I'm not. We love what we do. We love each other, and that comes through in the music for sure. Um, so continuing on with my life, that part of my life, I'm not gonna say ended, but I transitioned from from music to something more stable, something more stable. And I did a few things from truck driver. Oh, you name it. I did almost everything. Um, and I don't know how I transitioned into this part of my life, but it came a point to where my mom's passed away, and really, I didn't do well. I didn't do well. Thanks, people, David, again. He was there. He spoke at my mom's funeral, and he helped me as much as he could when he could. But a lot of it, I had to go through that. I had to grow and develop. I had to transform. I had to become this way. And I had questions for God. You know, I went to God and I asked the question, right? What's up with this death thing? Because, I mean, I lost my mother. I lost my uncle, one of my favorite uncles, and this little puppy, a little dog, a little pit bulldog. And I just, what's up with that? What's going on with this death? And I asked God, is this the best thing you could come up with? You know what I'm saying? Is this the best thing, death? And I went around, I talked to some other clergymen, and they explained to me that what we see as the body is only the shell of our soul and our existence, and we're gonna have to give that back to God. Everybody and every living creature on earth we're gonna have to give this back to him. So, and it's not like, well, nobody really knows what death really is, if you follow me. Nobody really knows. I mean, yeah, there's been speculation, that it's a glorious place. I'm not sure. I have my own ideas, but we'll talk about that another time. But back to my life. So I'm going through this troubled time in my life, and I mean, very troubled time. And I'm praying, asking God to give me a vehicle to get my life back on track. And every day that I say this prayer, the very next day, there's a computer sitting in front of me. And I kind of noticed that. I said, that's kind of funny, that every time I pray, and I just started walking that way, moving that way. And before I knew it, people were coming to me asking me, man, you don't really, what are you going to do with all those computer skills you have? And I'm thinking, I don't really know anything, I don't know. During the course of that, some people saw me around different training centers, different schools, and one guy, his name was Glenn Stein. He had a school called Biteback, and I took classes at the school. He saw me there and saw me a couple other places, and he went to the dean of another school I was at and says, I've seen this guy around. Is he serious about what he's doing? And the guy, my good friend now, Mr. Christie, told him, yeah, that's my man. Yeah. So he said, I want to talk to him. And he pretty much arranged a meeting between me and this gentleman. And as I met this guy, he told me this. I want to open 7 more schools around the city. I'm going to train my own staff. I'm going to call them interns. And I want you to support the computer class I'm going to give in the evenings. And I'm going to give you 2 hours of computer training in the morning. And you'll have about a 4 or 5 hour break in between. He said, if you do this, in exchange, I'll give you an apartment for a year. And I'll give you $75 a week for food. I kind of talked him into upping that to $100. Plus he paid for a fare card for me. And that really changed my life. I got involved in that internship, continued to pray, and when I came out of that internship, DC Public Schools picked me up just like that. It was an amazing story. Once maybe we get together and I explain to you how things what happened with that. Mr. Christie was really, really a gift for me. Show you how much. DC Public Schools interested in me. I told Mr. Christie. Mr. Christie says, tell you what I do for you. He says, I'll go down there, talk to them for you, and just fill the job out for you, which is kind of unheard of. For a job interview, you go down yourself, right? So I trust Mr. Christie. Go ahead down there. And Mr. Christie, you got to meet him. He's a fantastic gentleman. He's got a great sense of humor. He's smart. He is wise. Um, so he goes down. He talks to the people at DC Public Schools in our head office, and he comes back and calls me up. He says, "It's all set up. You go ahead down there, the job is shown. Go ahead down there, right?" So I go down to the interview, and I speak to this guy, Dr. Shahab, Iranian guy. And as soon as I walk in, I said, "How you doing?" I'm Wayne Thomas. He stood up and shook my hand. He says, "Wow." He says, "You speak the same flavor." And I'm thinking, what does the Iranian guy know about flavor, right? So he takes me, says, "You must meet the director." And I'm thinking, he's asked me no IT questions, and he's taking me to the director. I go to the director. Her name's Dr. Cynthia Bell, a sweet woman. Another woman on fire. Boy, she'll walk into a room and scare the bejesus out of everybody, right? Because she's just that powerful. She's that powerful. She is a force. So I go in to meet her, and she's working, and she looks up at me. She says, "Yeah, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine." And a little bit more to my story, and I'm gonna try to cut this kind of short. Computers gave me all that I wanted or needed. And you must know that I only have computers in my life because I prayed to God to give me a vehicle, and He gave me the vehicle that I needed to give me what I needed within life. It's still a journey, but I love the journey. You know, I'm playing now again. Uh, it's kind of ups and downs. Boy, do I miss my Terry and Dave. I do miss them. You know, when Terry's in town, I just love to get with him and play. But you know what's really strange about that though? As often he comes in town, we get to play together just a small amount of time. You know, you would think that we would play together more. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Wayne Thomas, good friend of David Roy, and I accept your challenge and I pass this on to someone else. Love y'all.